We Sri Lankans are going through a bad time. This has never happened before, especially during the New Year festival, during New Year celebrations. In fact, there are no celebrations across the country. Sri Lankan government a couple of days before announced they will not be able to pay back the foreign loans. This comes in the region of 51 billion US dollars, American dollars. This is purely an outcome of the incumbent government's carelessness, their inability that they demonstrated from day one to handle the economy prudently. There had been many suggestions, both political and from the academics and from economic experts, that the present government should go to international agencies like IMF, World Bank, and transparently carry out negotiations in order to get the maximum, the fullest support to countries' economy, in order to resolve the issues, and that will be prevailing in Sri Lanka's economy. But what has happened? Finally, they have brought Sri Lanka to its knees in front of the world. We all were proud of the fact that Sri Lankan governments, whoever was in power, were able to pay back these loans. Sri Lanka always maintained a high credit worthiness or very positive credit ratings. But since the current Rajapaksa government started its duties, its functions, what all we have been seeing is that country's economy, country's society has collapsed massively. The global rating agencies have not been reluctant to assign the due credit ratings to Sri Lanka. And these politicos, the government authorities, were negligent, and they were only good at responding negatively to these agencies and to the global audience. Today, on the verge of the collapse, as country has crept into bankruptcy, they have only been able to announce that Sri Lanka is not able to pay back 51 billions of American dollars. What they say is it's temporary. If it is temporary, I believe that they have a duty. I don't know to what extent that they will agree with it. They have a responsibility, a duty to announce what initiatives that they are going to take, they are going to follow, what is the way forward, not only to Sri Lankans, most importantly to the global audience, to the global community, to these international funding agencies, to the countries who grant us various donations, loans, and to the global investors. As they have lost faith and confidence in Sri Lanka's economy, and if the government is not ready to be transparent and accountable, they will withdraw their existing investments and they will not even consider Sri Lanka for future investments. This situation is severe than we see it. Which government is reluctant to reveal, for which the government is reluctant to take the responsibility for. Therefore, we as responsible citizens, whilst we appreciate the public agitation against the executive and the government, we must also bear in mind that we should develop a public discussion to explore and to educate each other the real reasons for the current plight of Sri Lanka's economy, which is largely due to the poor political decision making of the current government and also their arrogant attitude and their inability to follow well recognized, well tested economic processes, policies, and procedures. Finally, it is you and I who pay the price for their arrogance and for their poor political decision making.